Irish guy, and so there it is. Drink it in. England fans, that is the sour taste of relegation. I mean, now, for the English supporters who live in Norwich, Fulham and West Brom, that's a familiar taste, right? Honestly, you drank it so many times, it probably now just tastes like Capri Sun or the milk you have with your Weetabix, right? But no, think of the English fans who go to Anfield and Old Trafford every week. For them, relegation is so alien, and so yeah, for them, this will probably taste like their grandma's breast milk. Or a bit like an Easter egg that's just being dipped in a toilet. Lad, I have been waiting for this 4 years just to make football make sense. Lads, in Gareth Southgate's last job in club football, that ended in relegation. And yeah, I know what the younger viewers are thinking. Oh, well, it's Middlesbrough. I mean, trying to stay in the Premier League with them. It's a bit like expecting to eat a potato pie filled with toenails and not throw up on the floor, right? Well, no, because Southgate inherited a team who just competed in the final of the Europa League. 3 years later, he had them stuffed in the second tier, competing in the same league as Barnsley and Scunthorpe. I mean, this whole simulation of Southgate being one of the most coveted coaches in football after the 2018 World Cup, that never sat right in my brain. He was only ever supposed to be the interim coach to replace Big Sam. I mean, lads, that year he was linked with the Man United job, even though he still only won 2 of his last 26 Premier League matches. But, I mean, it's taken 6 years, but this is finally the Southgate we all remember. The one who wound up losing his job to Gordon Strachan. No, this isn't the first relegation on Southgate's CV. But lads, get this. It's not even the first time he's finished bottom of a group whilst managing his country. Go back to the 2015 UEFA European Under-21 Championships. He had a squad filled with promising young starlets like John Stones, James Ward-Prowse, Jesse Lingard, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Harry Kane, and Matty Target, and just finished bottom of the group behind Portugal, Sweden, and once again, Italy. Oh, that's not good. By the way, Sweden wound up winning that tournament. I mean, lads, the guy who scored the winning penalty in the final was Victor Lindelof. Yeah, the guy who'd grow up to be a walking potato at Old Trafford. A bit weird that. Listen, yes, I know, we, Ireland, just lost away at Scotland, who utterly bossed us in midfield. Honestly, there were lads from Manchester United and Celtic just running riot in the middle of the park. Well, I mean, to be fair, it's not the first time us Irish have been embarrassed by McGregor. But lads, now that England have been relegated, does that mean we could be in the same group as you in the next Nations League?
Oh, Irish guy, you can still get relegated to Category C.
Yeah. Relax. I mean, you know what we have to do to guarantee that doesn't happen? I mean, you know what our big task is? Not losing at home to Armenia. That's all we have to do. I mean, that is a to-do list so incredibly simple. It would be like if a fairy godmother told you that to have a long and prosperous life, all you have to do is just not eat your dinner from an infected bin. Well, okay then, fine. No problem. I think I can manage that. England versus Ireland, can you imagine? That's all I want. That is my entire goal in sport. Just to have that fixture in a competitive match. Oh, lads, that would be mouth-watering. Okay, quick interruption, but this video is quickly sponsored by Surfshark. What a great bunch of lads they are, right? I'm sure you all know that Surfshark is a VPN. And one of the greatest things about them, their data protection services, making sure that your private messages, photos, and videos are protected. So again, yeah, don't worry, you can still have those weird private photos of you taking a shower with a stolen sheep. But a great feature about Surfshark is that you can change your location on Netflix. So you can finally watch the American Netflix, instead of having to pretend you like the Great British Bake Off. Honestly, if I see Matt Lucas drooling over another lemon cake, I think I might actually throw my TV off the wall. But honestly, when you're away on holidays, you can change your location so you can watch Match of the Day even if you're on a beach in Peru. You can also use Surfshark across as many devices as you like, and it's got more features. One of them being alerts, which will notify you when your personal information is being leaked. Anyway, Surfshark are giving you all 83% off and 3 months free when you use the code IRISHGUY10. A link in the description. Anyway, back into the video. By the way, for England, this is supposed to be your preparation for a major tournament, right? Well, finishing bottom of your group, no wins in 6 matches leading up to a World Cup. It's a bit like walking headfirst into a French exam, having not done a single piece of homework in 7 months. I mean, all of your studying was just, what, half-heartedly watching a League One match with the sound on and thinking you've done enough. And no, you'll be very quickly given a fail. I mean, bring that home to your mum. If she's anything like my mum, she'll probably throw a boiling kettle on your feet. I mean, preparation for these tournaments is everything. I mean, I don't want to scare you, but one of the biggest bottle jobs by a major nation at a World Cup was, when France, back in 2010, wound up losing to South Africa and finishing bottom of their group without scoring a single goal. This was France. But I mean, the clues were there. I mean, their immediate friendlies before the tournament, they were losing at home to China. And their most recent competitive match was, that playoff where technically They lost 1-0 at home to Ireland after 90 minutes before Thierry Henry decided to use his hand. Something I am still not over. I mean, Germany were the laughing stock of the 2018 World Cup, right? Well, again, their build-up to that tournament was also pretty wet poo. 1 win in their final 6 games before the tournament started, including losing to Austria. So, yeah, I don't want to scare you, England fans, but preparation is key. I mean, lads, going into this match with Germany, England, the great attacking players of England, had scored 1 goal in 5 games of football. 1 goal since March, and even that was a penalty. So, fair play. Listen, there were positives. I mean, this is almost the heroic comeback, right? Coming from 2-0 down to rescue a 3-2 mammoth win against the Germans. Oh, imagine if that was the story. Harry Kane spooning that penalty into the top bins. Surely that means England would go on to win the World Cup, right? Yeah, no, because England did exactly that under Roy Hodgson. One of their final games before Euro 2016. Yeah, you were 2-0 down against the Germans, but then Kane scored. Jamie Vardy flicked in a golden equaliser before Eric Dyer powered in a last-minute winner. And yeah, you still went to Euro 2016 and got knocked out by a team of Vikings. England should have won the match last night. And the only reason you didn't is because Nick Pope had a last-minute nightmare, spinning the ball for Kai Havertz to tap in. And without a doubt, sitting on that bench, Dean Henderson was probably this close to somersaulting in his chair. Don't think for 1 second that man will not have been buzzing at full time. I mean, this guy was probably a toxic Barbie doll at Old Trafford last season. I mean, this guy is the villain of the England squad. He so desperately wants a World Cup playing ticket, and I'm guessing that, yeah, this guy probably does undermine his goalie rivals in international duty. Honestly, whenever Pope goes to the bathroom at lunch, Henderson probably wheezed in his soup. I want to defend Nick here, because making goalkeeping mistakes with England, it's pretty unforgivable for your career. Again, it's like going on the X Factor and singing off key. Pretty sure the 10 million viewers will decide that you're about as talented as a diabetic pig. I mean, lads, the likes of Paul Robinson and Rob Green, they are the ghosts of the England goalkeeping shirt. I mean, they made horrible mistakes representing their country. I mean, lads, back in 2006, Robinson was a talented 26-year-old goalkeeper who just finished 5th 2 seasons in a row at Tottenham. I mean, he was one dodgy lasagna sandwich away from being a Champions League level goalkeeper. And then Gary Neville gives him a back pass, he kicks the air, the ball winds up rolling into the net in a defeat at Croatia. Yeah. That was his last season as Tottenham #1. His form went off a cliff, he was barely picked for England ever again, and was sold for a relegation battle at Blackburn Rovers. And for poor old Green, his horrible mistake was at a World Cup against the USA. A year after that, he was finishing bottom of the league with West Ham. I hope Pope, after having Twitter basically decide that he's a human gargoyle with the reflexes of sellotape, I hope his confidence isn't also going to get flushed down the loo. Don't listen to the rubbish. This man is a steady Premier League goalie. He's 30 years old. We know he's not some gingerbread man of a goalkeeper. We know that he's not an English fraud. It's just one mistake. Leave Nick alone. But why? Why did Southgate choose to pick Ivan Toney in his squad if he's never going to play him? Am I the only one who finds that so infuriating? The amount of press coverage we had to listen to when Toney made the squad. Honestly, Sky Sports were this close to ringing up his parish priest for a sound bite. I mean, what is the point of picking these newbies if you're not going to give them a single minute on the pitch? I mean, it's been like when Roy Hodgson called up Saido Berahino to an England squad in 2015. I mean, he never played a minute, and instead now has 1 goal in 16 matches for Burundi. I mean, now, to be fair, Berahino very quickly turned out to be a wet sausage at Stoke. So England didn't miss out on much there, but Toney, just give him a chance. Everyone knows what Kane can do. He can score goals. Great. But England are officially going to a World Cup without knowing what Toney can do in an England shirt. It makes no sense. Every England squad needs a wildcard pick, right? Something out of the blue. I mean, it's usually just some journeyman lower league centre forward, like Ricky Lambert at Southampton. I mean, he went to the World Cup in 2014, despite being about as fashionable or sexy as a bowl of your granddad's teeth. But I mean, he'd still been given 6 England caps before the tournament. But Toney has none. What is the point? What is he supposed to learn from, what? Sharing a shepherd's pie with Luke Shaw on the coach? Choosing to call up Toney and not even use him? It makes no sense. It's like asking someone out on a date, only to spend the entire dinner just playing Minecraft on your phone. And let's be honest, Harry Maguire needs to be dropped. I almost feel bad for the guy. His confidence is so low. I would not be surprised to see him appear in the next series of the Undated Bulls. Listen, this is not going to be one of those videos where I tear into him for having the footballing IQ of a shoe. No, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that H-Mags is about as reliable as a horse with diarrhea. No, because I do feel bad for the guy. Once again, when his name was read out on the tannoy, the England fans booed his name. Moving to Manchester United has killed his career. We forget, but he was actually a very decent defender at Leicester. I mean, after the 2018 World Cup, old Slabhead was a cult hero. I mean, he was a refreshing new pick at centre back, right? After the nation had sort of just got sick of seeing Chris Smalling and Gary Cahill at the back, purely because they played for Man United and Chelsea. Finally, the England manager was not being blinded by just picking players at these monster massive clubs regardless of form. I mean, what a welcome change to see Southgate actually pick someone from a little mid-table Leicester City, and on merit too. And the fact that he's just an awkward looking orc was a bonus. That he was just some former Hull City centre half with a head shaped like a telly. Back then, the move to make was probably going to Chelsea to one day play in a back three. Then he might have had a top career. Or even if he was playing at Tottenham under Antonio Conte, he'd probably right now be a half-decent defender. But going to Old Trafford, it was the same as if Manchester United had signed Eric Dyer. I mean, right now, he's got all the plaudits at Tottenham, yes. Imagine if he was an £85 million Manchester United captain. Honestly, the fans would be trying to chase him back to Portugal. I mean, fast forward 4 years, and honestly, everyone hates Maguire. And it's harsh because what has he actually done? Sure, he had a stupid holiday in Greece, and one stuck his fingers in his ears against Andorra. But he's not a horrible person. I mean, if anything, whenever I listen to an interview, it sounds like he's got a cardboard personality. Honestly, he's got all the charisma of a Terry's Chocolate Orange. I mean, I don't exactly think he's got skeletons in his closet. I mean, I doubt he's got his grandma's corpse in his fridge. It's just, he's way out of his depth, but is that his fault? No, he was never supposed to be an £85 million Man United signing. Well, I mean, what's he supposed to do? Turn down the move? I mean, when offered the captaincy, was he just supposed to shriek like a 9-year-old girl before jumping out the window? No! He's done nothing wrong. His only crime is that he's not very good. But, I mean, the truth is, he was born in the wrong generation. He is an old-fashioned British centre-half who just happened to exist in an era where the English centre-backs are pretty weak. I mean, imagine if Harry was born in 1983, not 1993. Well, go back to England squads under Sven-Göran Eriksson. I mean, here were the English centre-backs who were better than Maguire. John Terry, Rio Ferdinand, Sol Campbell, Ledley King, Jonathan Woodgate, Jamie Carragher, Gareth Southgate, Gary Cahill, Michael Dawson, Julian Lescott, Matthew Dobson, and a nearly 50-year-old Martin Keown. I mean, have I missed anyone? Linvoy Primus, maybe? Possibly Zach Knight? Maguire would be, 12th choice in the squad? Yeah. 12th. Right now, his confidence is flattened. I mean, it's painful watching him play. People call him an oaf, but right now, I think that's an insult to oafs. I mean, I would imagine that right now there's some overweight granddad wolfing down an entire birthday cake and washing it down with 3 pints of Stella, who would probably take umbrage with being compared to Maguire. Someone who right now is showing the balance and grace of the BFG on Smack. There is a complete lack of elite English centre-halves right now, yes, but there is still a collection of competent English centre-halves in better form, the likes of Ben White. Everyone assumed he was the latest overpriced English centre-half when he joined Arsenal for £50 million. It would just superficially be a bit less easy to make fun of because, I mean, Maguire looks like something out of Lord of the Rings. Ben White, he looks like he belongs in a boy band. But no, apart from getting eaten alive by Tony on his debut, he's been brilliant for Arsenal. Although admittedly playing out of position right back this season. But still, England should have a back four, not a back three. A back four and a centre-back pairing of John Stones and Ben White. Now yes, I realise Dyer is in brilliant form. And Fikayo Tomori is playing week in, week out for AC Milan. Fine, they should be your 4 centre-backs in the squad. I mean, if you want to bring in a 5th, then okay, maybe just offer Connor Cody a plane ticket for team morale alone. Almost as if you're employing him to be the court jester on the plane. You know, the training ground clown. Ozzy, don't underestimate the power of that at a stuffy, lonely tournament. Ozzy, Fabio Cabello could have done worse than just bring Jimmy Bullard to South Africa in 2010. Because honestly, that sounded like a miserable England camp. I mean, does anyone realise how dull it must have been to wake up at 6 AM in the African heat to just eat Rice Krispies with Michael Carrick and Gareth Barry? Sounds about as exciting as attending a funeral for your goldfish. Just bring Jimmy along to tell your mum jokes and do something wacky like glue a cheeseburger to his chest. You know, maybe shave off Rooney's eyebrows in his sleep and prank call Crouchy's wife. You know, proper lad banter. But honestly, right now, England, before the World Cup, it's a bit of a mess. Anyways, for one thing, let me know what you think, or let me know if you enjoyed the video. Don't like, share, as always, I'll talk to you in a while.